The footage was grainy, but hauntingly clear. In the stark black and white view of a doorbell camera, Heather Williams, a 25-year-old woman with luminous green eyes and a gentle demeanor, was last seen stepping into a light-colored sedan with a sunroof. The night was quiet, save for the hum of the car engine as it drove off into the darkness, carrying Heather to an unknown fate. 6 days later, her body was discovered in a wooded area just miles from her Fayetteville, North Carolina, home. What had happened in those intervening days? Who was the driver of the car? And why had Heather's life ended in such a cruel and mysterious way? Heather's tragic story has gripped her community, raising chilling questions about trust, vulnerability, and the hidden dangers lurking in plain sight. The puzzle of her death is as intricate as the life she led, one marked by hardship, resilience, and faith. Heather Williams wasn't just another face in the crowd. Born and raised in Fayetteville, she was the third of 4 siblings in a close-knit family. Known for her radiant smile and unwavering kindness, Heather had faced more challenges in her 25 years than most people do in a lifetime. A tragic car accident in 2015 left her with cognitive impairments and limited speech. The injuries had been severe, altering the course of her life and forcing her to rebuild from scratch. Yet, Heather had never let her limitations define her. Before the accident, Heather was a vibrant and ambitious teenager. She dreamed of becoming a teacher, often volunteering at local schools and assisting younger children with their homework. Friends remember her as someone who could light up any room with her laughter. Even after the accident, she clung to those dreams, adapting her goals to fit her new reality. She enrolled in a community program for individuals with cognitive impairments, where she thrived socially and emotionally. She was a fighter, her older sister, Mary Williams, shared in a tearful interview. Over the years, she worked so hard to regain her independence. She wanted what everyone else wanted, to live, love, and find her place in the world. Heather's family described her as deeply spiritual, with an unshakable faith in God. She found solace in church activities and often spoke of her belief in a higher purpose. Heather attended services every Sunday without fail, where she would sing in the choir despite her speech limitations, finding joy and connection through music. Church members recall her as a beacon of light, someone who never hesitated to offer a warm hug or words of encouragement. Despite her struggles, Heather had a knack for lifting the spirits of those around her. Her faith extended into her personal relationships, where she prioritized kindness and forgiveness. Heather's family shared that she had been in a budding relationship with a fellow participant in her cognitive therapy program. The two bonded over their shared challenges, spending time together on simple dates like picnics in the park or movie nights at her family's home. She loved everyone with her whole heart, Mary added. She saw the best in people, even when they didn't deserve it. She always believed in second chances, and that's just who she was, selfless and full of love. Her love for nature was another defining trait. Heather would often take long walks in local parks, finding peace in the rustling of leaves and the chirping of birds. Those who knew her say that Heather's connection to the natural world made the location of her body's discovery even more heart-wrenching. A place that should have symbolized tranquility became the site of unspeakable tragedy. But Heather's trusting nature would prove to be both her strength and her undoing. She was a fighter, her older sister, Mary Williams, shared in a tearful interview. Over the years, she worked so hard to regain her independence. She wanted what everyone else wanted, to live, love, and find her place in the world. Heather's family described her as deeply spiritual, with an unshakable faith in God. She found solace in church activities and often spoke of her belief in a higher purpose. Despite her struggles, she had a knack for lifting the spirits of those around her. She loved everyone with her whole heart, Mary added. She saw the best in people, even when they didn't deserve it. But Heather's trusting nature would prove to be both her strength and her undoing. It was an ordinary evening on Berkshire Road, a quiet residential street lined with modest homes. Heather had spent the day at her family's house, engaging in her usual routines and enjoying time with her parents. Dressed comfortably in gray sweatpants and a dark shirt, she appeared relaxed. Around 8:30 p.m., she received a call on her cell phone, a call that would later become a critical part of the investigation. Shortly after, she was seen stepping outside, pausing briefly on the porch as if she were waiting for someone. Moments later, a light-colored sedan pulled up, its headlights cutting through the darkness. Heather hesitated for a moment before walking toward the vehicle. The doorbell camera captured her opening the passenger door and climbing in without apparent concern. Witnesses in the neighborhood would later report hearing faint conversation, though no one could identify the voice of the driver. The car idled briefly before driving off, disappearing from view. What prompted Heather to leave so suddenly? Did she know the person driving the sedan, or was she responding to a new acquaintance? These questions loomed large as her family replayed the footage, searching for clues that might explain her decision that fateful night. Her family didn't think much of it at first. Heather had friends in the area and occasionally went for drives to clear her mind. But when she didn't return that night, concern turned to alarm. Calls to her phone went unanswered, and no one had seen or heard from her. By morning, the Williams family reported her missing. Heather's disappearance was immediately classified as high risk. Police noted her cognitive impairments and her limited ability to communicate, which made her especially vulnerable. Flyers were distributed, search parties organized, and social media lit up with pleas for information. The doorbell footage provided a crucial lead: the car. But who was driving it, and why had Heather willingly entered? 6 agonizing days passed with no word. Then, on January 10th, 2025, a tip led detectives to a wooded area near Newark Avenue and State Avenue, just a few miles from Heather's home. There, beneath a canopy of winter bare trees, they found her body. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community. "It was the outcome we feared most," said a police spokesperson. Heather Williams' death is now being investigated as a homicide. The location of her remains raised even more questions. How had she ended up there? Was the wooded area chosen because it was remote, or did it hold some personal significance to the killer? And what about the car? Investigators confirmed they had located the sedan seen in the doorbell footage, but they remained tight-lipped about its owner. The Williams family was devastated. Heather's sister Mary took to Facebook to share the heartbreaking news. "It is with a heavy and broken heart that our family confirms the horrific news," she wrote. "I pray whoever is responsible for this is held accountable and there is justice for Heather." Mary's post revealed the depth of the family's faith, as she found comfort in the belief that Heather was now at peace. "She is walking normal, talking normal, and rejoicing. I can only imagine what her reunion with our brother was like." Heather's death has left a gaping hole in the lives of those who loved her. Yet even in their grief, her family remains steadfast in their determination to find the truth. "If you know anything, please come forward," Mary pleaded. "Heather deserves justice." As investigators pieced together the events leading up to Heather's death, several theories emerged. The sedan was a key piece of evidence, and its discovery brought police closer to identifying the driver. But questions lingered. Was Heather lured or coerced? While she willingly entered the car, her cognitive impairments may have made her more susceptible to manipulation. Who tipped off the police? The discovery of her body was not random. Did the killer feel remorse, or was someone else involved? Was this a crime of opportunity or something premeditated? Heather's trusting nature could have made her an easy target for someone with malicious intent. The Fayetteville Police Department has been tight-lipped about specific details, citing the ongoing nature of the investigation. However, they have assured the public that they are pursuing every lead. Heather's death has cast a shadow over Fayetteville, a city already grappling with rising crime rates. Residents are shaken, many questioning their own safety. "It's terrifying to think this could happen to someone like Heather," said a neighbor. "She was sweet, kind, and didn't deserve this." The case has also reignited discussions about protecting vulnerable individuals. Heather's cognitive impairments made her an easy target, highlighting the need for community vigilance and support systems for at-risk populations. Heather Williams' story is a tragic reminder of the fragility of life and the dangers that can lurk even in seemingly safe environments. Her death has left a trail of unanswered questions and a family desperate for closure. As investigators continue their work, the community waits with bated breath, hoping for justice for a young woman who had so much more to give. Was Heather's killer someone she knew? Did the person driving the sedan plan to harm her, or did events spiral out of control? What secrets does the car hold, and will they lead to the truth? These are the questions that haunt Heather's family and friends as they navigate their grief and search for answers. For now, all they can do is hold on to their memories of Heather, her laughter, her faith, and her indomitable spirit. And as the investigation unfolds, one thing is certain: Heather Williams will not be forgotten. If you have any information about Heather Williams' death, please contact the Fayetteville Police Department. Every piece of information, no matter how small, could bring investigators closer to solving this case and providing the Williams family with the justice they deserve.